Good morning, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Title of my talk today, or my focus point, is: are you using the unfair advantage on your farm? And to me, the unfair advantage on any farm is sheep. If you're a cattle farmer and you don't have sheep, you're really leaving a lot of dollars on the table that you could be harvesting, and at the same time making your cattle pastures better. This is a lease farm. We've had this one a good while, and it was pretty much junk when we got it. And there's still some broom sedge in here, but boy, it's going away quick. And had a lot of brush encroachment on it. And between the sheep and the cattle, they've taken care of a lot of it. We had a surprise, first time it's ever happened on our farm anyway, with the sheep. Boys came out to move them the other day, and there was a baby lamb. And we got theorizing what it was is one of the ewes this spring that lost the lamb, she came right back into heat. And of course, we don't take the rams out till July. And so we had the rams taken out by July, but she evidently came back in heat immediately, like in June. And anyway, she's got a nice little lamb over there laying on the ground by her. And we've had some really nice seasonable warm weather, and so we got lucky. If it would have been freezing rain and stuff, it would have been a different deal. But it's been the 60s. Now then we hit some 20s, but today I'd say it's probably 50 out here. It's pretty nice. Sheep! I'm standing right in the way of them. We just took their wire up. We put the rams in this year just because we got them up. We had a bunch of rams being sold. We put our rams in November 28th. Normally we wait till December 1st. But 2 days, it's not that big a deal. I'll get back. The sheep are like Greg's standing right in their way. Here they come. But yeah, the rams are really working the ewes over. They're just constantly walking around sniffing on them, waiting. You can definitely tell where the sheep are at there. And then over here, there's just a lot more green. There they go. They're going after it. It's easy. Once you get your sheep broke to one single wire, it's really easy stuff. But there is a group of 10 ewes and 2 rams that we're selling from our folks down by Poplar Bluff. And if you're interested in them, you need to let me know. They're probably not going to be around much longer. Nice set of sheep. They're out of our flock. They got their start from us many years ago, and they're raising some really nice sheep. Where'd that little lamb go? Well, there it is. It's a pretty little thing. I wanted to show you. Looks just like his mama, kind of. He's got this brown and the white. Yeah, he's doing good. When they get that size, they're pretty much okay. They are so tough. They're I would say they're tougher than calves. Once they get going, they get going quicker, I'll put it that way. When they're born, I've watched them get up and start sucking within 5 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen a newborn calf get up and suck in 5 minutes. But part of that is if they don't get up and suck within 5 minutes, there's going to be something eating them in nature. And so I think nature's designed these small ruminants that, hey, you need to get with it in case getting him some dinner there. You can always tell when they get on the teat, their little tails start flopping back. That ewe's in really good shape. My goodness. She's just pig fat. But yeah, that's the first one we've ever had. That's done that, and I'm glad we don't have a bunch of them doing that, because I don't like lambing in the middle of, here we are, December 3rd. And we had a lamb yesterday morning, to be December 2nd. So it happens. It happened to us. But it looks like it's going to work out fine. So this is our second pass across our stockpile this fall. And we'll get 2 more passes. So that's what we left behind over there. And this is what we turned in on this morning. We are in a really good drought. We were on a pond this morning. It's got a little bit of a seep in it, but it's down 10 feet. And I'd say there's still, 6 foot of water in it. But I think we'll get a rain and bring it up. We got about an inch the other day, and it helped. It definitely helped. But it's still dry out here. And we're hoping for some rain this winter and come into spring. Look at that little booger. He is a cute little thing. There he goes. Yeah, there's your unfair advantage. And a lot of times they'll have twins. She just had a single, but a lot of times you'll end up with more twins than you will singles. So the unfair advantage is if you got your farm already, you've got it, and you've made payments on it, or making payments on it. You've got it fenced. You've got some water out there. If you can run another source of animals, there's another source of income. And they're not really competing. They compete some with the cattle on the grass. But they're smaller animals. These sheep, we don't even figure any hay for them. I mean, if they get hay, it's going to be a rare occasion, because they don't really. Hey, Sugar. She's such a sweet dog. We've got 5 guardian dogs in here now, because we put the rams together, and we had 2. We had Cotton and Sugar were with the rams, and now we've got them all together. So yeah. But yeah, I think that when you can add another income stream to your farm simply by a little bit more management, there is a huge opportunity here for 2 different species of animals. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. If you're interested in those 10, there's 10 parasite resistant ewe lambs. I think there's 8 of them are ewe lambs, 2 of them are older ewes, and there's 2 rams in that group, and they're really nice. They're out of this same flock here, and no worming, no grain, and just forage raise. Make a good start for someone. Anyway, y'all have a good one, and hit that subscribe button on the way out, and we'll see you next time.